Hello students, it's Mr. B, and today we're going to start the project. This will be the first of a few videos in which I show you how to complete the project. Today we're just going to be creating a Google Sheet. We're going to decide on a financial goal that is measurable, so not just something as vague as get money, but a specific goal that you're going to be working towards over time. Talking a little bit about how to use Google Sheets. We're going to find an image to motivate you to achieve that goal. And then finally, we're going to track your expenses and your income so that we can calculate later how long it would take you to achieve your goal. If all that sounds like a lot, this will be a step-by-step process, just three steps, a little bit of sheets in there. Okay, let's get into it. It's a budget project. Okay, so by this Friday, that's hopefully tomorrow, but maybe previously in the past because it's the future. Anyhow, you need to create a Google Sheet. Hey, look, there's the link to create a Google Sheet. Include your name when you name this, okay? Because that would be super helpful since I'm going to have about 120 of these. Let's create a Google Sheet. If you've never done this before, you click that link. If you're signed in, you'll have one. If not, you got to sign in, okay? So make sure your face, your big mug, your mean mug is over there. All right, and then you're going to name this. So I'm going to call this Legan Math Project. You know what? Because there's a K. Math Project. We created a sheet, including our name. Hey, we're 1/3 of the way there. Next, we're going to choose a measurable financial goal with an associated cost. So I've given you a couple of examples. Let's find a more relatable example, maybe. So let's say I would like to save up for something. I'd like it to be something that would take more than a month. Otherwise, this is kind of a trivial assignment. When you're budgeting, you're generally budgeting for something bigger. So let's use something relatable. One of my students is trying to save up for a car. So let's look at like 2010 Honda Civic. Highly recommend. Is fine. Craigslist, where people are actually selling this. Okay, Columbus, Ohio, Honda Civic. There we go. 10,000, 5,000, 13,000, 4,000, 4,000, 6,000, 5,000, 5,000. So okay, about $5,000 to get a Civic that most importantly runs. Okay. Sweet Civics, bad ratchet Civics, they're all about $5,000. Okay, so we came up with a goal. Let's find a pretty picture of one. This one looks pretty good. Okay, because part of this is including an image of the thing you want to motivate you. That's expensive one. That's why we're gonna just 2017. That's why. That's why we're gonna end up buying one that maybe don't look so pretty. She ain't a looker. She ain't much, but it's honest work. It honestly works. Oh man. Oh, look at that. That's called a car bra. Yeah, to keep the hood looking good in the hood, like you should. Okay, so we got a picture of our beautiful project. Okay, so we want a Honda Civic around 2010, comma, $5,000. That's our goal. So, do we choose a measurable financial goal with associated cost? Yes, I want to save up for a 2010s Honda Civic. I'm going to buy a car. Other things you might want to do are included here. I also have some more examples. Found a picture of our goal. Hey, we're 2 out of 3. That's good. Then track and make a table of your income and expenses. No making up numbers. I need to see the receipts. So I would like you to figure out how much money you're bringing in and how much money is going out every month. For your expenses, you can open up your debit or your checking account if you have one, and what you can do is you can look at your overall statements, so payment activity, and see how much that you're spending each month. And you can see January, December, November, October, September. I'm spending between $1,000 and $2,800 each. So on average, I would say I'm spending about $2,000 a month. If I go to my checking account, I can go sort by my salary. You might have pay stubs. Otherwise, you could track how much you're getting paid. So I'm getting paid about $1,800 every 2 weeks, or about $3,600 every month. Back in Sheets, you'll need a column for income and a column for expenses. Now that's assuming you make the same amount every pay period. So if you're getting paid every 2 weeks, you get the same amount because you're working the same number of hours. So you'd probably want to track a few months and average it, just like you can see here. If I look at my pay, I got paid a little less this month. Maybe I covered some classes or had some training this month, and I got paid significantly less for the second paycheck of November. So that is a little bit variable, and your pay can vary, which is why we're going to take the average to be about $1,800. This is a little under, a little under, a little over, a little over. So 1,800 per paycheck or 3,600 per month. And I'm saying I'm spending about 2,000 per month, because you can see a lot of these are close to 2,000. Some are significantly under, some are a little bit over. Well, we'll just start with this month, January. I am making 3,600 every month, and I am spending 1,800 every month. Now, this is assuming you have a fixed salary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge these cells. That just puts them together into one bigger cell, one wide cell, and say fixed salary. Some of you who work the same number of hours every week may have a fixed salary. If you don't, so maybe you have odd jobs that you work. Let's say you lawn mowing. I don't need to merge those. Let's say you don't have a fixed salary. So you might have a variable income. So let's say you worked odd jobs. Lawn mowing, babysitting, and then shoveling drives. Okay, well, we probably need to know, let's just hide this for a second. Select these cells and hide these. I'll come back to them. Okay, I just don't need to see them right now. In January, you're probably not mowing a lot of lawns, right? But maybe you're doing some babysitting. Let's say you babysit 4 times for $50 a piece. So you could even put equals 50 times 4. We'll get to formulas later. But $200 that month, and shoveling driveways, let's say you shoveled 5 driveways, equals 5 driveways at $20 each. And then that's going to change each month, right? So you need to track this over time. Maybe you can use last year's income and expenses as your baseline. Obviously, in February, you're probably not mowing a whole lot more yards, so you're still babysitting about the same amount. Driveway shoveling business starts to go down. But then in March, you're still babysitting. Maybe you're not shoveling any driveways. By April, let's say you're mowing 6 lawns at $30 a piece. And you're still babysitting, but you're not shoveling drives. That's done for the year. So May, even more lawns and still babysitting. If I'm going to be babysitting the same amount, let's say I've got, an auntie or a neighbor that always has me babysit, what you can do is if you know something's going to be the same every month, this is how if I hover over the bottom of this cell, I can click and hold that and drag it down, and it'll be the same for each of those cells. I don't have to type 200 multiple times. But obviously, our shoveling and our lawn mowing are changing with the seasons. And then it starts to be June and July and getting a little less busy. So we're making less money. And then track your expenses. $10. All right, $10 a month for Call of Duty. And then let's say you're spending 4 Chipotle runs per month, so $50. And then let's say you ride in a big brother's or big sister's car, so you got to give them gas money. All right. Once you've got your expenses, and I'm just going to average this out to 120, you can now find out how much you're earning. Okay, so these would be negative. These are obviously in the red. These are positive. These are going to be in the green. When you've got something hiding in there, you can see this expand button. And I'm just going to grab these months and put them in here again so we can see those 2 examples. All right, we don't need all this. Hopefully, we're going to reach our goal there. For my fixed income, obviously my income's the same. I found my average expenses. And I'm asking you to provide a evidence of that. So let's say you're using your bank account. I don't want to see in your personal information, okay? Just like I didn't show you mine, that was secret stuff. So you're just going to show the dates and how much you're earning, okay? So put this over here with the car. All right, so there's your income, and my expenses are over here. So we grab, a few months of expenses so I can see it's about $2,000 a month. All right, that's all the evidence I need. Just that I need to know that you're actually giving me valid data and you're just not just making up numbers. If you're not working yet, let's say you plan on working. Okay, so let's work over the summer. Or let's say you turn 14 or 15 soon and you're going to start working once you hit that magical age where you can work a better job. So what do we make at, let's say, Kroger? Pay 14-year-old in Ohio, because the different states have different minimum wages. All right, so let's see, Kroger sellers in Ohio. We're not obviously working full time, so we need to know we're probably going to be a associate So retail or grocery, but this means stocking, this means cash register. And obviously I'm getting wildly different information from Google here, and that's because the sources are different, and this one might be talking about national study, this might be one specific state. Okay, so here we go. Cashiers make about $13 an hour. Okay, that's the important bit. So if you're a cashier working at Kroger, how old cashier Kroger. This is the kind of cursory research I want you to do. Make sure you're looking in Ohio because different state laws. How old do you have to be to really work at a cashier? Okay, so you cannot be cashiers yet, y'all. Okay, so in Ohio, you can be a courtesy clerk. And let's see how much you make. $13 an hour. Okay, that's kind of what we speculated earlier. If you're working summer work at Kroger, courtesy clerk, and just do me a flavor and show me where you found that. Okay. Glassdoor and Indeed are pretty good points of reference as long as they're talking about your state. And then just snip snap that information. Okay. So I can see where your research came from. I do want you to have this be valid. We're not just trying to make up numbers here. Okay. So if you have a fixed income, show me the receipts, i.e. your pay stubs or your checking account where you deposited it. If you have expenses that you use a credit card or a debit card for, show me that. Okay, I'm not looking for you to make up numbers. That is not what we're in the game here for. So you're making $390 a month for just these 3 months. Well, whatever you're saving up for better be less than $1,000. You ain't getting this car in one summer's worth of work, right? So you might have to bump back the hours and work during the school year, or think about if you want to work multiple summers to save up for something like the car. We'll go into the calculations in the next video. Hopefully I've explained how to find your, and let me just pull this off and put it in a new row. I like to organize. So this is our overarching goal, okay? For this example, we are trying to get a Honda Civic. So I'm going to put this in the center. I'm going to make it nice and big and bold. Big, bold blue Civic. Let's even make it blue. Okay, standard formatting options, just like you're used to, and your docs or your slides. And we have 3 different examples here. I'm just going to box these so that I can see them as distinct items. So we start to bump back up again in the fall. That's not an increment of 30. Still babysitting. Still losing that money. All right, and we got some expenses. Let's say you're very frugal. You're maybe buying like a battle pass and a little bit of snacks. So maybe like $10 worth of battle pass and $4 of snacks a week. All right, so we got some expenses. We got some income. And let's color code all this. You don't have to color code. I like being organized, and this helps me visualize what's happening. Losing money in the red, gaining money in the green. These are distinct entities. So let's put these in boxes. These are my 3 examples. You can use the boxes over here to kind of organize your work. You obviously only need to find one set of incomes and expenses based on your situation. You might have a fixed salary if you're working the same number of jobs or number of hours per week. You may be working odd jobs, and you may have to research work you want to do either over the summer or once you hit your next birthday and you can work somewhere. So either way, for this first assignment, this first part of the assignment, find a picture of whatever is going to be motivating you, and then evidence of how much you're making and spending. Again, these don't need to be giant. We can shrink this down a little bit. Or if you're going to be working a job, how much that job pays. Okay. I need it to be a reputable site. Don't just copy and paste the Google result. Hopefully that makes sense. And this gives you kind of an idea of what you're doing. You're probably going to be in one of these 3 buckets. Either you're going to have a fixed salary where you're making and spending, well, making the same amount every month, and you can give me an average of your expenses, or you're going to be working odd jobs, in which case you might not have the same amount of income every month, but please do just chart it over the course of the year, however long it's going to take you to save up, and think about what you're doing, what's consistent, like babysitting, where you don't care about the weather. And if you're doing odd jobs outside, those probably change with the seasons. And then you can, again, find your average expenses by just looking at your bank account and see how much is coming out each month. and then you might be working in the future. So this is future use problem, right? Everything's future use problem. Future summer work at Kroger. You don't have to work at Kroger. You work wherever you want as long as it's legal. Okay, so please just show me that they will hire you, and that how much they're going to pay. Do that research. We'll talk more about formulas, making a more formal table, because this may not get you that. I mean, here, let's just put a preview. I'm going to sum up all of this. I could buy a Civic in 3 months if I really wanted to. If I wanted to downgrade, I could buy a Civic in 3 months. We're probably not in that situation for everyone though, right? So let's copy this, copy and paste. Odd jobs will not get us there because we're spending too much money. So that is part of this budgeting project, is think about how much you're making and how much you're spending, and make sure those make sense. Here I'm making double what I'm spending, so I'm able to accumulate $1,400 in over the course of those months. Here we're in the green still, so this is in the green, but $1,800 over the course of the same number of months. And here I think we're going to be very barely in the green if I were to wager, because we're spending money over the months, we're not making money, which is not good. Unless you're getting an allowance, and if you are, no shade, you can make an allowance for your allowance. So if you know you're not going to be reaching your goal, here we are still in the green, but not heavily. We're only $770 in the green. That's not going to be great, right? So this is the total. This is the total. This is the total. That's how much we'd have after those months with these 3 different situations. Yeah, good jobs pay more money, make more money, spend more money, still have more money, right? That's kind of the lesson here intrinsically. But you're probably in one of these 2 situations, unless, hey, good for you. You got a job already and you're working the same number of hours per week. You've got a relatively stable series of expenses, probably save better than someone who's spending even when they're not making money, or they're working odd jobs, so they don't have a consistent income stream. And then we talk about maybe adjusting the goal or increasing the amount we're working, but that's for a future video. All right, that was a lot, but hopefully you learned how to, first, create a measurable financial goal. It doesn't have to be buying a car. It could be buying a console or a PC or some technology like a phone or a smartwatch, something appropriate based on your income level. This student might be able to afford a new gaming PC or the newest iPhone. This student would probably be looking more at something like a smartwatch or maybe a lower grade phone, because they're not working more than 3 months out of the year and they're still spending money all year. So it's, not a great financial situation in terms of saving up a lot of money. First, create a Google Sheet and include your name on it. Second, find a financial goal that is measurable. Doesn't have to be a car, could be something smaller. Find a picture that will motivate you and include it in your sheet. Research how much you're making and how much you're spending, or if you are going to be working in the future, how much your job will pay in the future, and to make a table of those expenses. These can be extended in the future because we'll have to kind of play with how many months, or depends on what you're saving for, years we need to go to get to our goal. And of course, you're going to finally share this with me. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been helpful in understanding the first 3 steps in this project, and next time I'll be back to explain how we can create a graph in Sheets that will show visually how much money we're earning and spending over time and trying to reach our goal, as well as a graph in Desmos to calculate exactly how long it'll take us to reach our goal. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!